World events of 1798. In 1798, the United States faced a brewing crisis with France, leading to the passage of the controversial Alien and Sedition Acts and the Quasi-War, a naval conflict that lasted until 1800. Here's a more detailed look at the key events of 1798. 1. The Alien and Sedition Acts. Tensions with France escalated, fueled by the XYZ affair, where French officials demanded bribes from American diplomats. Federalist response. The Federalist Party, led by President John Adams, feared that aliens, non-citizens, might sympathize with France and criticized the government. 2. The Quasi-War with France. The United States, led by President John Adams, responded to French seizures of American ships in the Caribbean with a limited naval war, known as the Quasi-War. The war ended in 1800 with the Convention of 1800 and ended the alliance between France and the United States. Charles Brockden Brown's novel Wieland published. It's considered one of the earliest major American novels and is sometimes viewed as the first American Gothic novel. The novel explores themes of suspense, intrigue, religious fanaticism, and the psychological impact of events. Free African Americans in the North, frustrated with discrimination in white churches, begin formally creating African American churches. Britain. In 1798, key events in British history included the Irish Rebellion of 1798, the formation of the first organized police force in Britain, the Battle of the Nile, and the publication of Lyrical Ballads by Wordsworth and Coleridge, marking the beginning of English literary romanticism. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Politics and rebellion. Irish Rebellion of 1798, a major uprising against British rule in Ireland, led by the Society of United Irishmen, a republican group seeking independence. The rebellion was poorly organized and quickly suppressed by British forces, despite some initial successes in areas like County Wexford. The rebellion resulted in a high death toll and ultimately led to the Act of Union in 1800, which abolished the Irish Parliament and united Ireland with Great Britain. Military and naval. Battle of the Nile. Admiral Nelson's British fleet decisively defeated the French fleet in the Battle of the Nile, a major victory in the French Revolutionary Wars. This victory was crucial in preventing Napoleon Bonaparte's plans to invade Egypt and disrupt British trade routes to India. France. In 1798, key events in French history included the papacy being removed from power, French forces invading the Papal States, France annexing Geneva, and Napoleon's troops landing in Egypt. Here's a more detailed breakdown of the events. February 10th, the French General Louis-Alexandre Berthier removed the papacy from power. March 7th, French forces invaded the Papal States and established the Roman Republic. April 26th, France annexed Geneva. June 12th, French forces took Malta. Germany. The birth of August Heinrich Hoffmann, who later became known as August Heinrich Hoffmann von Fallersleben. He was a German patriotic poet, philologist, and literary historian. Iran. In 1798, Iran, under the Qajar dynasty, faced the rise of Fath-Ali Shah, who would later face the challenges of navigating complex relationships with Russia and Britain, particularly concerning the northwest frontier and the growing European influence. Here's a more detailed breakdown. Rise of Fath-Ali Shah. Following the death of his uncle, Aga Muhammad Khan, Fath-Ali Shah ascended to the throne in 1797, inheriting a complex situation on the northwest frontier and the need to address Iran's relations with Russia. Challenges of the northwest frontier. Iran's position in the Caucasus was weakening, and the country faced pressure from Russia, which sought to expand its influence in the region. Diplomacy and strategic interests. Iran attempted to re-establish relationships with Georgia, as they had existed under the Safavids, but Georgia sought protection from Catherine the Great of Russia. British and French interests. Britain and France, with their own ambitions in the region, also began to take an interest in Iran, particularly due to the threat of French expansion in Egypt and its potential impact on British trade routes to India. India. In 1798, a significant event in Indian history was the Nizam of Hyderabad, Nizam Ali Khan, entering into a subsidiary alliance with the British East India Company on September 1st, making Hyderabad the first princely state to become a British protectorate. Japan. In 1798, Japan's Edo period saw the revision of the calendar to incorporate Occidental astronomy, known as the Kansei calendar. Brazil. In 1798, Bahia, Brazil, saw the Revolt of the Tailors, or Bahian Conspiracy, a slave rebellion led by free and enslaved people of African descent, inspired by the French Revolution, which aimed to overthrow slavery, racism, and Portuguese rule. Mexico. In 1798, a significant event in Mexican history was the establishment of the autonomous Commandancy General of the Provincias Internas under Teodoro de Croix in the northern provinces of New Spain, marking a shift in administrative control. Africa. In 1798, key events in African history included Napoleon's invasion of Egypt, the British Royal Navy's victory at the Battle of the Nile, and the birth of Voortrekker leader Andries Pretorius in South Africa. Andries Pretorius played a key role in the Great Trek and the establishment of the South African Republic, Transvaal, and whose legacy includes the naming of the city of Pretoria. We hope you have enjoyed watching the video. Thank you.